got audio. Okie dokie. Alright, let me just wait a moment for folks to pop in here. Channel should be up. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's live feature rant, episode 2. And to start things off, before I get going with anything else, I'm actually going to go through all of my screenshots from the week. Landmark is open for alpha. There's no NDA anymore, so we can take screenshots and live stream and all that awesome stuff. So last time I did the live feature rant, I thought this was going to be the only time. Now I can see that it's pretty much going to go throughout the entire alpha. So here's the screenshots I've gotten so far. I was just messing around, built that little thing. This is all off-claim building that I'm doing here. Some random person decided to join me. Then just kind of playing around with it. So this is the one that I submitted for the art thing. I think that and maybe the one before or one of these other ones here. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of the seam over on the right side, and when I finally do, here I got this one, over on the left side there's a seam now, so unfortunately there's no way I could really take care of that. Don't know why I took this for. That was some bugginess. It's just loading in, switching islands, I think maybe even switching servers at the same time. And that's my little upside down pyramid thing that indicates exactly where my claim is at. A little closer, and then right below it you can see there's some torches and stuff on it. Unfortunately that awesome lighting can't be seen from far away. So when I first popped in, I didn't know about going to the different islands yet, or at least I hadn't explored that. So I just started going wherever I saw way out in the northwest there was absolutely nothing claimed. This was on fault tier 1 on, I think, Courage server. So I grabbed one claim and it was kind of buggy, so I kept on clicking, and then finally it asked me to confirm, then asked me to confirm, then asked me to confirm again. So I had 3 claims all put down on top of each other, and you can see, maybe you can't see very well on the right side, those are actually 2 stacked on top of each other, why the box is a little bit thicker and more opaque than the left one. So yeah, that was just some bugginess. So back to here. Yep, I was on the live stream for the actual event, so that was actually a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about that here. So let me just take off the image viewer. There we go. Hi everybody. So I've got some awesome stuff to show. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put my hat on. Because everybody complained so much last week that, oh no, he doesn't have his hat. Oh, the curly hair. Yeah. And yes, I am just wearing pajamas right now. Oh, and the EverQuest shirt. We got an EQ shirt. Or some folks did. I think it was a win-win sort of thing. I don't remember if everybody got one. Yeah, so I went to SOE campus for the event last Friday. It was pretty cool. there was a tour, went through some of the offices, some of the buildings, and that was a lot of fun. It was really great to be able to kind of go through and see everything. Now, I'd been through once before um, for the Planet Side 2 Fan Day, June of 2012, and that was a lot of fun to visit. This hat just does not want to hang out. Oh well, that's cool. Um, so that was a lot of fun, going through and touring it again, and getting to see more of it, getting to see the old Tenaris server. Cost $250,000 in 1996 for, what was it, 27 gigs of hard drive space, I believe, and 512 megabytes of RAM. And that was enough to get the game online and host it for everybody. So, that's pretty awesome. And that was one of the not only one of the big foundational things for SOE, but there's actually some things there that we see later in PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2. The Magrider and the, I believe, the Prowler and or the Vanguard. Actually, I'm sure it's the Vanguard. I can't remember if the Prowler was also in that. So yeah, those are properties that have continued on from their absolute very first game, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Getting to see the lunchroom and the post-it notes and stuff. That was a lot of fun. The tour. It was one of the few things. It was there. There were two things that you had to sign up for and do in groups. One was the tour, and the other was the demos. Now the demo was a lot of fun. We first came in and got a rundown of the game and what to expect and some of that. And then when we finally went into the room to go try it, there were demo stations set up, so we had developers and stuff we could talk to nearby, and we had these little handy cheat sheet things. I actually snagged one with permission. It was after all the tours were over, but basically it had all of the all the controls and what everything is. Pretty neat little quick handy guide. I've actually referred to it a couple of times, actually playing the game live during the alpha here. So that was a lot of fun. So completing both of those, then you fill out a survey, and when you complete that, you get a few different things to choose from. So I ended up getting this awesome, you probably can't see because of the reflection, EverQuest 2 notebook. I should probably just take it out of the package here. But yeah, it's just a notebook. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to use it or if that's going to end up being a giveaway or something. Yeah, Malice, you're sick too. I'm getting over the plague as well. I don't know if I brought the plague or left with it or what happened, but all I know is Hamid's still coughing and hacking, I think. I don't think he's recovered yet. By the end of Friday, he looked like he was about to fall over. Oh, and I also got this Evercracked, I guess it's a CD or a DVD of the documentary, which I've been told by many people I need to read, or not read, to watch, and to take it in to really understand the whole history of EQ, because there's no possible way I could play through the entire game from then to now and get that kind of experience. No, Malice, it isn't his. It isn't his cooties. I don't believe he brought Scottish cooties. So that was a lot of fun. The event was a lot of fun. The giant tent had a picture booth, and Fiorina was around. She could sign your picture with her or whatever. There was a giant banner where everybody could sign their names. So I signed on the blue orb spark coming off the sign. I think I was the only one to do that. So I did hit up the picture booth. Here, I'll take. Well, I don't know if it matters if I take it out or not. Here's the result, which the best response anybody had for it is, "What a nerd." Oh, Dunkelweizen. Delicious foamy Dunkelweizen. Hi, Omid. How's it going? I hope you're feeling better. So, oh, and also everybody who signed up got one of these. Now, if you can even read the code at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can with the resolution of the camera, but if you can read the code at the bottom, it's not going to matter. I already entered it. I've got that Prime Grappler. Man, that thing is awesome. You could just launch across the terrain so much faster than running, at least 4 times faster if I can really just, hook it and keep things going. Shift and mouse wheel back to zoom out the camera, tilt the camera up as high as I can, and then just mash the E button, sometimes jumping along the way if I need to. I can zoom across continents really quickly. I almost want to just race the devs one of these days. So that was a lot of fun. Other various sorts of stuff. All the devs were around. Great to interact with them. Brass came out in the full dwarf costume. Maggie was rocking the elf costume the entire day, which, like, mad props to her because that thing is not like the easiest thing to wear apparently. Yeah, so it was. The weather was cool for that time of year, and some people appreciated it, some people didn't. I liked it. It was just fine. Um, it wasn't too bad at all. So afterward, after the event wrapped up, we went with a few folks went with Brass to Callahan's bar and pub, I believe it was, and that place has a really good jalapeno beer cheese soup in a sourdough bowl. I really enjoyed that. Their nut brown ale, they call it Callahan's Nut Brown, and you would expect from that it would be, uh, I don't know, more European in style, but it really seems like an American style spin on the Northern English brown ale, or really more just American brown ale with certain components done one way or another. It doesn't really sell me as a nut brown at all. Oh well. Uh, and before the event wrapped up, there was a live stream going where I yelled landmark, and yeah, that's where this image came from. Yeah. Um, so the live stream was a lot of fun. I was just standing outside photobombing with everyone else, video bombing and stuff, I should say. And then all of a sudden, someone comes around and says, "Hey, you're on in a few minutes." And then, were you with someone else? And I don't know where Tobrin had went. I think he was in a tour, like a second round of the demo or something. But he wasn't around. I couldn't find him anywhere. So I I just went to yes, oh scared, exactly, Malice. So I just went on the air solo, and I figured, well, Tobin will eventually come around, and he'll be on the show as well. And he actually kind of came on to finish things out and wrap it up, which was great. So we got 2 different Into the Portal hosts, both giving it love at different intervals. While I was there, I also pushed SOE Live, bringing my 2012 SOE Live bag with me. This one right here. Yeah. So, while I was there, I got some loot. I showed you some of it already. I also got this license plate thing. Now, I don't know what a lava braxy is. I'm going to have to do my homework before I put this on my car. But what I have on my car right now is pretty stupid and consumerist. So I'm going to take the thing that the car was inherited with off and put on something that more represents it. Oh, I finally got my awesome PlanetSide 2 PC gamer signed by the devs. And that's once again a special thanks to Maggie for helping out with that. Margaret Loop Herzer Crone. Just so much awesome going on the cover of this. I'm going to have to get it signed, or not signed, framed sometime in the near future. So I want another one of these. So Dave Georgeson keeps lamenting that he doesn't have one of those hats. So I was initially thinking, well, maybe I'll give it to him. But then I thought, he works there. He could just say, hey, give me one of those hats. He could go to one of the underlings and be like, hey, you want a promotion? Give me that hat and I'll consider it. And then just, laugh his way back. Or, I don't know. He doesn't seem like a mean person like that. But seriously, someone has to wait. Just give Dave Georgeson a Nagy hat already. Come on. This one, I don't know what's going to happen with it. Chances are I'm going to use it to extort subscriptions from Twitch out of people once I get partner status with them or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Eventually someone will win it or otherwise. DCUO box. So you don't need a box to play this game. It doesn't come in a purchased box anymore. So there's 500 station cash in here somewhere, and otherwise it goes on my shelf over there next to Vanguard. It's the furthest row here, third one up is Vanguard. You might not be able to see it too well. And I got this Dragon Profit code for a Crystalline Dragon. I don't really play Dragon Profit, so if any of you do, the code is FE62 6JGM 3ZCE K4DX MCRM. I'm not going to repeat that. If you didn't catch it that time, you'll have to catch the broadcast afterward once it's finished recording. Those aren't for messing with. So I've gotten a couple of these maps from attending SME Live in the past. I got another one. It's an EverQuest map. It's cool. All right. So there was also this temporary tattoo thing, which that's cool. Window clings are more awesome. I have the Vantage Sovereign 2 window cling on my back of my car now, and I also have one on my computer here. Not sure if you'll be able to see it or not. No, it doesn't open for, or doesn't have the range for it. Oh well. Free Realms trading cards with 50 station cash inside. Sorry, Free Realms. You're just gonna have to play Landmark. And this Ratonga Rat Race pen, which it's got a couple little marbles, and you gotta kind of move it and twist it in such a way to get the marbles through. It's kind of cool. And so that was all the swag from the event and all the loot that I won. And of course the shirt here. You can take it in for what it is. All sorts of old school Boob Quest advertising. You know, if it doesn't have a pair of boobs on it in the 90s, it's not going to sell, apparently, no matter how good the product is. Apparently, that's still true today. So, I hope Landmark proves that wrong and uses less boob questiness and still has just the same level of success, which I'm sure it will because it's like 10 times better than Minecraft and free to play. Okie dokie. So there was the day after. I stayed around for a special tour that happened. Um, it was particularly because Tanlin and Celeste from the Evercast show weren't really able to make it on Friday, so they came around on Saturday instead. Um, and it was just a special tour. It's basically the same tour everyone else got, but a little bit more FaceTime with a few different folks, particularly Dave Georgeson. We were in his office for like 10, 15 minutes, and it was really fun to watch him play because he was just so excited. He was more excited than any one of you players ever could possibly have been to be in there playing with everybody. I know the feeling because when I get my games online and I can, play them and share them with people, it's just such a joyous feeling. So, for him to be in that position, I'm sure he was just running on pure excitement right then, and especially because the servers held out all night, so they were able to have the champagne and go on home. So yeah, that was a great visit. Really appreciate being able to hang out in there and. Um, before that little special tour, we we went to this place, the Opera Patisserie, which is near SOE campus. And let me tell you, that place is awesome. The food there is not only reasonably priced, but it is dynamite. It just tastes so good. It's well made. I've had croque monsieur at not only the Earl of Sandwiches over where SOE Live is held at Planet Hollywood, and that one is bogus. Don't have it. And I had one at a local brew pub called Ladyface, and again, that was like $13, and it was just not the right thing. Uh, the croque monsieur I had at the Opera Patisserie, it was $8.80, and it was legit. It was the real thing. Oh man, it was so good. Uh, yeah, and they had the little French macaroon cookie things there that are just absolutely delicious. If you're ever in the San Diego area, especially visiting at SOE for an event, that restaurant is a place to check out. Um, Absolute special thanks and props to Domino, Pentapod, Emily Taylor, the the spot for where we were going to eat, and the tour, and helping take Tobin around San Diego and all of that stuff. Just absolutely, truly exceptional. Thank you ever so much for taking the time and effort to do that. And I know Omid wanted to join us as well, but the plague had claimed him, so that's unfortunate. Next time everybody's in town for some kick-ass SOE event, we'll hopefully have Omid join us. But he's in chat here, so I see everybody's been saying what's up. All right. So, moving on to the next thing, in-game stuff. Now, I'm not gonna wonk on or harp on rather any wonky features that currently exist. I know that the grid tool is a little wonky right now, the add tool and the heal tool and all of that stuff. I'm not about to go, ballistic on all of that stuff. It's a work in progress. The game's still in alpha state. It's got 60% of the features. If 30 to 50% functionality, I would say. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about those. What I do want is a cylinder. I want a cylinder feature for shape, being able to rotate it in the different directions, being able to scale it up or down and get different voxel volumes with it. Because let's face it, our arches kind of suck right now. That smoothing tool, I know we've got the new sandpaper tool coming at some point, but our arches kind of suck. Having a cylinder is the best way to make real beautiful looking arches, as well as being able to have a lot of other control over what we're doing. So not only having the delete tool, being able to use the cylinder shape, but also being able to use an add tool in a cylinder shape. That'll also make making towers and such a hell of a lot easier um, when it's ready, when you guys have the time. Oh, one kind of funny thing, the UI size is a little weird. The 13 something by 896, I think, resolution that the game's decided to default for me. Unfortunately, it squeezes things in such a way that I don't see the delete and other buttons on the claim management window. So I was running around for like an hour trying to find where the hell the button was, and looking around on the internet and asking everywhere and just looking like an asshole. And no, it turns out I just need to either pull it up or make my game window larger in order to see it. So anybody who couldn't find it before the 3 p.m. deadline, sorry, sucks that your stuff is about to get wiped if you had any. Uh, I had 3 random buggy claims that were all on top of each other that I showed in the screenshot earlier, and I got rid of those. I've got just that one cool claim now with that upside down pyramid thing. And hopefully we can put another claim on top of our own claim at some point in the near future. I know we're going to be limited to just one claim right now, but because they've already said that verticality is going to be limited to just the person who owns the claim, I really hope that I'll be able to extend 1 or 2 more levels of claim on top of my current claim, so I can go, instead of just having that floating pyramid there, I can bring it up higher and making something way more awesome and epic with it, because it's supposed to be the giant indicator of where the community forge thing is at, which I've got over on um, Scarp over on Serenity, just east of the teleporter. Ah, all right. Everybody who has a question for me or has asked a question, hold them till I'm finished with everything, because I haven't been scouring through chat as much this time around. Um, but yeah, I definitely do want to answer plenty of questions, and I can see that there's plenty of questions already being answered in chat right now, which is awesome. So, the aside from just a cylinder tool, another thing I'd love to see is just a plain shape tool, just to be able to import a shape of some sort. I don't know what file format, or otherwise being able to draw it in the game, and then just have that shape extrude for as long as you need it to. People can make stars, or uh, make the EverQuest Next landmark logo, basically make a stamp out of it so they can put it places, various different uses of it. I don't know, once again, how long it would take to get a feature like that in. It could be a while, especially because it's the sort of thing where you wouldn't want to see penis stamps everywhere, um, which I'm sure would happen. Uh, Solidifying claim edges. So I really love working on the claims, but one thing I did when I started with my claims, I just blasted out everything that was in there, not realizing that everything that's on the edge of the claim doesn't really want to get attached with stuff. So now I'm having a really hard time um, rebuilding things and making it look nice and pretty. So a unfortunately, the heal tool also isn't working very well. But I've been to kind of platform over an area and make a ground to work with. It's just really weird. I'd love to be able to have the actual walls of the claim be used as an anchor point, so I can put buildings or blocks along those, and then move them in or whatever shape I need. Sorry, distraction. Uh, all right. Oh, one other thing. The current size of the claims and scale of things is a little weird. Um, I know everything's lined up on a grid. It is and it isn't, because right now with the 70 by 70, I can't start with the largest size of block on one side of the claim and have it go all the way across the entire edge of the other side of the claim, and have it be flush to both sides using the grid. And if I can, then the reason why I can't right now is because my claim is actually not aligned with the grid of grids. And unfortunately, everything is going to be off by a little bit. So that makes things really awkward when trying to build towards the edges, because it doesn't let you build slop off claim for you to clean up later. It just it doesn't let you build anything that's where you're depositing something half on the claim and half off the claim. Another solution would be that when you try to build half on a claim and half off a claim, it just deposits the stuff inside the claim. The However it has to work out, that's definitely a feature I'd love to see sometime in the near future. So one other thing I'd love to see is being able to manage props from a menu, and being able to do various different things, like being able to have lights all triggered together. So when you turn one light on, it turns an entire group of lights on. Or when you open a door, all the lights inside that room, which you've selected from a menu, all turn on, and they only turn on and off when the door is open and closed. Um, that's the sort of thing be really nice for just being able to have control over the lights, basically a light switch for when there's the day cycle versus the night cycle. Because I don't know about everybody else, I've got torches all the way up in crazy high places, so being able to reach them and go turn them all on or turn them all off is a little wonky right now. Um, Death by Snoo Snoo. Yes, you did find me. That is an awesome screen name. I highly approve. Um, so that's another one that I'd love to see, is being able to set events on a timer, either having doors that you can have open and close at certain times. Um, you can have something look like a haunted house or whatever, with doors that are randomly opening and closing, and lights flickering and such. Or people that want to do the whole holiday themed thing, you can have sets of lights that will basically alternate and have a kind of a blinking effect. Um, uh, oh, and being able to I guess, yeah, just along with the idea of the blinking lights, that really would just being able to set things on a timer, either an individual prop or groups of props or whatever. Um, so that yeah, Diggs, that's exactly right. Diggs was saying at the event that as soon as everyone started having Nagy hats because they were being given out left and right, it was harder and harder to find me. And I think once I got the EverQuest shirt on too, because I was wearing an SOE corporate shirt before that, it probably became even harder to find me in the group. Um, and oh yeah, it was awesome meeting Diggs, one of the prominent members of the community here. out at the SOE Live event. So yeah, various different things to be able to work with props in different ways. Scripts and such. Pressure plates could be another thing. That's, I'm sure, all features that will eventually go in over time, but um, they're not a priority right now. That's, I'm sure, like way later on, closed beta at the earliest sort of thing, unless it's really on the priority list to have those features in, and I just don't know. Yes, Eris, an offhand torch would be nice because the current light stones, they suck. They suck. It's a waste of a slot and it's a waste of materials. Those things, they just do not provide light at all in any meaningful way. So, the thing that many people have been talking about here and there, and it's been a point of discussion, is trees. Burled wood. Burled wood. Burled wood. So, getting a really fast copper axe and 2 keen eye rings, you can probably get about 100 burled wood per minute. Maybe a little slower, but um, burled wood. That stuff is just so annoying to collect. And part of the problem is that, putting the scope and scale of the game in focus, realize tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 aren't going to be, these islands like this. Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, those are the layers of depth. We're not just going to be able to run around in the desert and find tungsten. We're going to have to dig the hell down to find that stuff. Um, but trees are only on the surface. So, because they're on the surface, it's, I guess, regarded as a lower tier of material, and so the rarity materials, the burled wood and the striped wood, are the remedy to the fact that there aren't trees below the surface. Right now, it just isn't working out. It's just not a very good system. It's just makes a giant painful grind for burled wood, and it reduces the need for better axes and other materials, and the things unrelated to lumberjacking. It's just, get your copper axe, and then once you've got enough materials and stuff to start making them, make 10 of them, make 20 of them, however many, until you get something with just massive damage and high speed, and then get your 2 keen eye rings, and burled wood can be yours. But that's just that's not fun. It's actually the opposite of fun. It is just a grind. It is just a painful grind. So what I'm thinking about as a way to resolve it is really rebalancing things. Stone pick or the stone axe should really only be able to cut the smallest and weakest of trees, which really only provide plain wood. The next largest of tree, you actually have to have the copper axe for. Those should be producing plain wood and burled wood. But instead of burled wood being the thing that you're using from copper all the way up through the tiers, plain wood is actually used predominantly for, all the way up through tin, and maybe an iron. That's the first point where you actually need any burled wood. So that way it's not nearly as painful to grind for the burled wood, and a lot of people already have enough burled wood from collecting plain wood for the other things they needed, or they wouldn't need that much more. The only people where they might be a little deficient on it is if they've actually taken the time to make a one of the tables or crafting stations that requires burled wood. And that's, it's entirely optional because there's more or less everybody is working on that sort of thing, and they're just out in the world. You just need to know where they are. Um, but some people like Crazy Omi have actually taken the time and effort to try to do that. And actually, solo, I'm almost up to the third forge and the tier 2 and tier 3 stuff. So once this is all done and the servers are back up, if anyone wants to help me wrap that stuff up, I'll probably be on there. Uh, Lennon Luther, by the way, is the name of the character I'm using, not neurotoxin. I just decided to go with something funny that matched the aesthetic of the character rather than something people can easily find me by, because I thought we were going to be wiped by now. So after the first actual character wipe, I will actually go to neurotoxin. But for right now, I am rocking Lennon Luther. So burled wood, once that starts actually becoming a thing that you're starting to need a lot of, it just stopped needing to be used in as many things. Instead, I'd like to see another tier of wood start to show up. Once you actually are at the point where you're making, making a gold axe and you're able to chop down gold, switch it over to gnarled wood and striped wood. So striped wood would be the rare, and gnarled wood would be the basic wood that comes off of trees out in the desert areas. The gnarled wood is going to be the more common one. You're going to have more things earlier on in that range of materials where it just uses gnarled and doesn't use any stripe. And then as you progress through the tiers, it needs a little bit of striped wood and then a lot of striped wood. And then after that, once you've gotten onto, closer to the end game materials, closer to the top tier, the final axe is going to be used to get like hardwood, which would be the largest type of tree. It'd be retinted to look like a redwood or something. You chop at that, you chop at that, and eventually you get up to the the things that need ironwood, which would be the rare off of that. So pretty much the way I'm saying is that stone only cuts the plain wood. Copper cuts the plain and the burled wood, and you only need a little bit of burled wood compared to right now, where you need a fuck ton of burled wood for the entire game. Um, Once you get up to gold, you start needing, instead of the burled wood, the gnarled wood and the striped wood. Um, then you're going to be using that for a while and harvesting a lot of that stuff for a long time. And once you're finally ready to move on, it'll be going on to the ironwood slash hardwood. Um, so that's pretty much what I'm looking to do, or what I would be hoping that the team does with um, the trees to make them more relevant, make the sizes of the trees actually mean a little bit more, and what you're actually getting from them mean a little bit more. And maybe it would require adding a different type of tree, perhaps one that you can only find in the floating island tier 3 area or something. So, we wouldn't even really need it or have to access it right now. Now, I could just be putting all this stuff out here without knowing that they already do have a plan for fully upgrading the tree system, and they just haven't mentioned anything about it because they're still working on it, and it doesn't need to be detailed until it's actually been released. But um, I'd really love to see a complete overhaul of the current tree system, because right now it's just burled wood, burled wood, burled wood. Yeah, you can do some things to make it easier to collect burled wood, but burled wood is still burled wood, and burled wood is the thing that you need when you need burled wood, because burled wood is needed for everything. Burled wood, burled wood, burled wood, burled wood, burled wood. I can say it a few more times: burled wood, burled wood, burled wood, while I pour out the rest of my beer here. Burled wood, burled wood. Because you know what I'm going to be collecting when I get back on the server? Burled wood, and burled wood. And then 40 tungsten. Mining is a great system, though. I really like the mining. I like the richness and the depth. I'm still a little weird about the sapphire being a black crystal and highly unavailable. See you later, Omid. Have a good one. Um, and that's actually being looked into right now. So sapphire isn't going to remain this weird black stone. I would think that obsidian would be a more of a black crystal anyway, but I don't know. Things might be a little off right now. We'll figure it out, or they'll figure it out rather, and do something here. So that's I think that's more or less the extent of the rant here. So uh, Q&A. Who has questions? Omi just took off, but I can answer things. And while I wait, I'm going to show the graphic one time here, because if I decide to wrap up the show because things are a little bit weird and just cut the broadcast right here, at least it ends on a fancy image. But no, we got some Q&A action going on first. So what you got, everybody? I find a hell of a lot of coal, quahog. I find tons and tons and tons of it, and not because of Krampus either. I just find lots of it. When you have a large pick that digs out a giant volume, you're going to get a lot of it just while you're collecting. If you have 1 to 2 keen eye rings, you're also going to find a lot of it. Now, I've also set up to dig as far down as I can, and I've gotten halfway through the giant chunk of world that we have. So I got a whole lot of coal and the elemental earth or essence of earth or whatever from doing that. So you'll find coal everywhere. It generally you're gonna just find it in the rocks and the dirt that surround whatever it is you're actually trying to mine. Um, and I think you might be able to get it from a roughwork sifter, but I'm not sure. I haven't had any success with those, or if I have had success, I don't know because it doesn't quantify the materials that I get from it. Question from Trend or from Tobran. No, question from Trendane. What was it like to meet Tobran in person? It was quite good. Great. I mashed those together into grit. Um, it's the funny thing now. A lot of people said this. I think, or maybe I was just the one jerk. Is that when I first saw him, I thought he was shorter because the camera he uses and the way he sits and stuff. No, he's not short at all. He's taller than me, or at least as tall. So yeah, that was the first thing that surprised me. But he's a real friendly fella. Definitely just as he's actually a lot more awake and insightful when you actually meet him in person than when he's on a show. Believe it or not, but uh, you know, it was a lot of fun. Definitely hanging out both at the event and the day after. Um, so yeah, was it great? What was it? Whatever I said earlier. All right. Nira, how do you feel about current buildings tools and the state of these tools? Well, I said earlier that I wasn't going to harp on them and that they're, the game has got, what, 60% of the features and the 30-50% implemented. Everything is in the works right now. I understand everything. It needs a lot of love and a lot of roughing out to get from where it is now to where it needs to be at live to be really robust and functional and effective for players. What we have right now definitely gives people the ability to make, Minecraft Senior. We're able to make things that look a lot better than Minecraft, that have a lot more detail, a lot more features. Um, it's really pretty awesome what they've got so far, especially taking in the scope and scale of what there will be. by the time it goes live, and then future content updates and releases. Where do I currently hang my hat in game? I don't have a hat in game. Yeah, Drac, you should definitely get all of the tools and make sure you take a little time to understand how they all work. It's really a lot of fun working with the tools right now in their current state, but at the same time, I know it's going to be 10 times better in the future. Favorite terrain so far is desert because I can see all of the materials so much easier from miles away. When I'm looking for trees, I know where to find trees, but when I'm looking for materials, I go to where they're easy to spot and there's nothing blocking my view. I'm using the Tech Sergeant's outfit right now. I was rocking the Tech Commander, but considering the character's name is Lennon Luther, I figured the red would be a lot more appropriate. So, the Tech Sergeant's outfit. Right now, I'm working on upgrading my uh, uh, little community forge area, making the pyramid more awesome and uh, more visible from a distance, as well as actually upgrading the look and getting all the facilities down for the forge and the all the different crafting stations, so everybody can just hop on over and do everything and access all the stations. I even have this little tiered thing where the lowest stuff is here, and then there's a little ramp, and then the next level, and then a ramp where the next level of stuff is going to be. And I'll build one more level if there's another tier after that. I don't know how much more there is. Um, Oh yeah, and the other equipment I use usually when I'm collecting, I use the harvesting ring and the discovery ring if I just need volumes of materials. If I need rare materials, I use the two keen eye rings, the discovery rings. And if I'm that's really about it. That's all I use these days. I was using the thing to help me jump more because that helps a little bit more when I'm grappling around. I got a light stone. I don't like that thing at all. It's like a radius of 61 doesn't work. Um, Once it does start working, I'll probably use it a bit more, but right now, not really. Um, so back to the question about what I'm building and planning to build. So I've thought about a few different things from a few different game properties that I'd like to build up. The demo level Rescue at the Ruins from 3DO's Ill-Fated Legends of Might and Magic first-person shooter. That was a game that I played for a while. So rebuilding that first classic map and adding some of the functionality, I think would be a lot of fun, and that's something that's going to be probably an iterative project that'll go on, throughout the course of the development of the game until I can actually put in all the features that I want. Um, Plenty of other things that I want to build. I can just start listing off, thing after thing. Um, I definitely have some projects where it's going to be build a modular unit, share it with a bunch of people, have them do stuff to it, bring it back to me. I'll assemble all of the modular units together into a larger superstructure, and then that'll be a really awesome super claim thing where everybody can go and have fun and package the whole thing up and put it on Player Studio so other people can do it and have it later on. There's all sorts of stuff I want to build. Right now, I just want to get the basics. I just want to get the workplace that everybody can access and make all the stuff they need to. Uh, Drac. What server aisle am I building on? I'm on the Serenity server over on Scarp, just east of the hub, the ley line. Um, you probably can see, if your view distance is working properly, you can see this giant floating pyramid in the distance to the east. And as you get closer, it might get obstructed by trees. I've got a void portal there. I've got some of the tier 2 stations. I'm a little bit of burled wood away from having the second accessory bench thing, and then once that's up, I'll just need, I think, 40 more tungsten, and I can get the next forge set up. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, Drac, I stayed up. I was like anxious about that all day yesterday. Got up early and stayed up all the way, just keeping my eye on the updates and everything until finally servers got up. By the time I actually got in, because I was on the login screen waiting, once the servers flipped over, unfortunately I couldn't click on one of them and click play because it was already grayed out from before. So I had to quit out and come back in, and even though I was exactly where I wanted to be for the spot I wanted, unfortunately somebody had did the order of operations slightly faster and got the claim right at the teleporter. So I had to settle for something a little bit farther, but it's just fine. People can see it from far away. Yeah, Drac, my first 3 claims were way out on the edge of the map. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It sucks to have the claims way out there without having any redeeming value to it. But of course, when the ley line can take people around different places on that island rather than um, or wherever it's going to be, rather than having to be a completely different server jump thing. Hopefully, it'll work out a lot better, and there won't be any place that's like too out in the middle of nowhere, or there'll actually be some benefit to being out in the middle of nowhere, like a lower chance that an iron golem is going to rock your stuff. Mm. Dunkelweizen, you're such a good beer. Need to brew another one of these pretty soon. All right. I don't know if the new islands are up yet. I just started broadcasting at 5. I was just getting ready for the broadcast. I know the servers went down. They were talking about new islands going up. So chances are there's a lot of awesome property out there, and anybody who's got a really crappy spot could probably log in and grab something nice right now. I'm fine with the spot I have. I'm just gonna work with it for now. When things finally get wiped, maybe I'll try to grab something better. But right now, I'm fine with what I've got. People can find it. There's a giant floating pyramid you can see from the teleport. For fuck's sake, that's awesome. It's only gonna get more awesome when I cover it in copper or tin or gold or something. Um, we'll see. We'll see what I coat it with. Something that I can get a lot of right now. It's just made of plain old stone. And I managed to use over 200,000 stone on my claim already, and I haven't even made a dent in the volume. Excuse me. All right. So I'm just going to bring this up one more time because we're at the 1 hour mark here, and the QA is starting to slow down. I will definitely continue to do more QA, but once again, if things start to slow down from after this point, this is probably where I'll cut the broadcast and snip it to YouTube and all of that silly stuff. Oh, did I bring the image up? Here we go. Okie dokie. And back to it. Death by Snoo Snoo, are you at work right now? Um, let's see. Tips on Sapphire, Ruby, or Obsidian. Sapphire, dig every cobalt down as far as you can, and if there's no red, dig out around the sides and see if you can find it. It literally took me. I posted. I think it was like 17,000 um, just to find 101 uh, sapphire, 17,000 copper. So that's just annoying. That's really annoying. Also, because it's black, it's not blue or anything. Someone says that it has a surface node. It doesn't have a surface node. You can't find it just free floating on the surface. You have to dig up cobalt to locate it. If you see someone digging up cobalt and there's no red underneath and they've jumped out, jump in and see if you can find it. I don't know. Give it a try. It's not going to be black forever though. It's in the works right now to get changed to a proper color. Ruby, I haven't started on yet. I would imagine you need to find independent surface nodes of the red metal, and then it'll just probably be underneath there somewhere. I haven't really gotten to that yet. I still need to build up my new forge or locate one somewhere. Uh, and obsidian, I just find it's the black stuff that isn't iron out in the middle of places. You're only going to find a small little bit of it sticking out, and then you got to kind of hammer away at it. I found maybe 3 or 4 nodes of it, but I couldn't do anything with them. Hopefully it's not something that you need a lot of. Okay, sapphire. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Onwe had the exact same experience I did trying to get the sapphire. So it's definitely wonky right now. I put it out to Felgon to potentially raise the percent chance of seeing sapphire at the end of a cobalt vein. So hopefully that stuff is being looked into right now, and that'll be either a stealth buff or a reported change at some point. Death by Snoo Snoo. I've checked out Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. I mean, Rise of the Fallen itself. I just laugh at that because like, oh, well, they got knocked down. Now they're getting up. Rise of the Fallen. um, there's a lot of good stuff going on there. I'm not going to deny it. I'm sure it's going to be a great game. I'm sure the people who play it are going to love it, and it's going to have a great, awesome community. It's going to be a game that lasts the ages. It's a subscription gate based client purchase MMO. I'm done with those. I am long done with those. I'm not going to play it. Not unless they give me a free copy and a free subscription. Um, no, it's just not going to happen. I think it's an awesome game, an awesome concept, uh, but I do not like that business model anymore. I like being able to get all of my friends to be able to try the game, and if they like it, they can play for free. I know there's going to be a trial mode, but a trial of getting up to what level 10 or 20 or something, that's nothing. Get me up to end game, rating content before you actually make me judge whether I want to buy the game or not. Because let me tell you, when I get to level 60, that's where I can tell immediately if it's a game that I'm going to play for 3 to 5 years, or if it's a game that I've run the course with it and I'm done with it. For me, max level is not, you know, you've completed everything. This is the end of the game. Good job. The max level is great. You're finally a first dan black belt. You've learned everything you need to be a black belt. Now the real learning begins. Now the real training begins. That's the way I see it. So it's I think it'll be a really good game and a really good property, but the fact that not only it has such a limited trial, but it has a full on buy to play and subscription thing. Um, it's just not for me. Hello, Bad Viking. Okie dokie. Oh, I didn't see the trending. Had to leave. See you later, trending. Um, Probably already took off. I could probably send to stream some Landmark tonight. I probably need to eat some dinner after this, but yeah, um, I could definitely pop on and stream for a little bit. I've actually been itching to try to use Shadow Play, but it doesn't look like that's configured with the game right now, so that'll probably have to wait. For right now, I'll just use OBS here and link it up and get it going. But I warn you, it's mostly going to be getting my crafting station together, so it's going to be a lot of burrowed wood harvesting and I don't know what else. I guess, yeah, burrowed wood, tungsten. I need 10 gold, so I'll just find that when I'm getting the tungsten. And more burrowed wood. So once I've got all of that, I'll have the tier 2 crafting table thing, the tier 3 forge, the cobalt pick, and I'll be raring to go to find the next set of materials. That's awesome, Drac. Yeah, I really like the idea of playing this game with the Oculus Rift. It's an awesome device, and I've seen some awesome stuff being done with it. I think I mentioned on the last live stream about the Global Game Jam and seeing a few projects at USC being made, 46-hour weekend game jam projects actually being made using Oculus Rift, which is just awesome. So, the idea that it can be implemented fully and, not only make the game look nice, but even potentially add functionality or visibility for the player is just a really awesome concept for it. I tried an Oculus Rift over at Indiecade in October last year. The game I played was this demo game where you're playing as like this elephanty thing with this giant schnoz, and as you move your head around, the schnoz swings back and forth, and trunk, I should say, not schnoz. It just felt like a giant nose. And it swings back and forth and hits obstacles, and then these alien UFO things start coming in, and you're batting them off left and right. It didn't really have a score to it. It was just like a little 5-minute demo, but it was pretty fun, and it really impressed me with the capabilities of what the Oculus Rift is actually capable of. Hmm. Hmm. So I see the viewers are starting to go down a little bit. I don't know how many I had up. I think I was up to 30 or something, but down to 16. So does anybody have any other questions? Either a request next landmark related, anything related to the campus event, anything related to Into the Portal. Um, when do I think it will be in closed beta? Since alpha has been pretty smooth, I think they're still going to go with the marketing schedule of. I think it's in 2 months when the deadline for closed beta begins, and then going from there. However, that's going to work. Uh, Yeah, that's all I have to say on the subject. If it comes any sooner, that's awesome. But I think they're going to use all the time they have to put in as many features as possible, and they might already be pretty much on a schedule that an internal schedule that they just haven't published to us. Um, whether that's a it fits in with like an agile style production system, and they're doing just 1 week, 2 week, 6 week sprints or whatever right now, or if it's a completely different system, or if it's just like free form. Let's see everything that we can possibly get in the next month, and then we'll reassess the situation and look at what we still need to get in. I have no idea how things are going. I fully trust the production team there, that they know what they're doing, and that the designers there and programmers are going to be able to fix the bugs and find the weird stuff and work through it all and get all the content and features in at a comfortable rate. What do you mean tree chopping is barely in? All you need to do is chop trees. You just walk up to it with an axe and you chop trees. It's the lack of features with chopping trees and the trees not exploding in funny wood voxels in the way they do right now, and all that sort of stuff that needs to be worked on a bit. So I actually didn't get the founders items the first time around. Um, I didn't delete my character. What had happened is that apparently accounts flagged as player studio artists weren't granted their Trailblazer items, so they finally added them, and I got them yesterday. And there was something there that was just a little weird to me. The first time the pickaxe was the Trailblazer pickaxe thing was actually presented. If I remember correctly, it was presented as being the highest level 1 axe possible and the lowest top tier pick possible, meaning that I could go all the way up to the highest material that I could hit with a pick and slowly chisel away at it and collect it. Or if I need a wood, any of the plain or burled wood trees, I would just be able to walk up to and absolutely murder. Um, but I don't know that that actually is in the plans right now. The version right now, it's a decent axe and a starting pick that gets you through the first tiers. But other than that, it's not really. It doesn't really get used, and because there isn't a way to directly upgrade that specific item, it's by the time I got it, it was already not useful to me in any way. Plus, somebody was saying that the range on it is messed up, and you can't get to some of the thicker trees with it. Oh, it's the highest tier 1 pick. Oh, whatever. Like, tier 1 goes by so quickly, and the lowest tier 5 axe. Once again, like, I've got a gold axe. I can cut striped wood. I think I could do that with the copper axe. If that thing had like 5 discovery on it, then we'd be talking, because at least I could use that to zoom out like dirt and stuff and get essence of earth and coal quicker. Yeah, I'd love to see something to make that Trailblazer pick a little bit nicer, because right now it's pretty, but I don't have a cosmetic slot for tools, so that it doesn't do anything for me. Yeah. Hmm. So keep it coming, folks. Any more questions? Any more stuff? Any more content? Any more suggestions? Things you want to see? Uh, if not, then I'm probably just gonna wrap things up here and eat some soup, and then start popping on with some streaming. If you've never had a Dunkelweizen, it's a good beer. If you're someone who drinks beer, Dunkelweizens are delicious. Yeah, Diggs, we will eventually have servers by genre. That's definitely something they want to have, and they've talked about it recently. Tobren, eat more Jaffas. Tobren does need to eat more Jaffas. I need to eat more Jaffas. They're delicious. They're not as awesome as shortbread, but I did have a Jaffa cake, and it's basically like those chocolate covered orange things. Okay, so take that, squash it down into like a little flat patty, and then put that on top of like a little cakey thing, and that's what a Jaffa cake is. They're yummy. They're a delicious little snack, but compared to shortbread, especially that Walker's from Scotland, that is just amazing. Yeah, Jaffa cakes are just like all right. Shortbread. I want me some shortbread. Um, yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for attending, everybody. I'm gonna finish my brew here, and if there's no more questions by the time I'm finished with it, then I'll put up the image and cut it off. The stream, that is, not my drinking of alcohol. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you later, and be looking for the live stream. I'll tweet it out at Legendary Neuro when I'm ready to go. Adios.